agenda is the budget, is the mayor's proposed budget. Are there any amendments to the mayor's proposed budget? And I just want to say to my fellow council persons, this is a different setup for us, so it's going to be difficult to see everybody. I'll try the best I can, but you may have to raise your hands or something, okay? Is there an amendment to the proposed budget?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr. Barrington-Posner.
Madam Chair, I'd like to propose the following amendment. 5.2.2 Ordinance Committee. The Ordinance Committee conducted a special meeting on May 8, 2017, at which time the following was referred to Town Council. An ordinance adopting the annual operating budget for the town of Stratford for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2017 and ending June 30th, 2018, and appropriating the sum of $216,199,075 in accordance therewith. Whereas the mayor has prepared and submitted to the town council the annual operating budget for the town of Stratford for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2017 and ending June 30th, 2018, in accordance with the Stratford Town Charter. And whereas the town council has given consideration thereto and has conducted public hearings in connection therewith. And whereas the estimated amount of current expenses, permanent improvements, and other lawful charges of the town of Stratford for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2017 and ending June 30th, 2018 is $216,199,075. Now, therefore, be it hereby ordered by the town council of the town of Stratford that the budget attached hereto and made part hereof be and hereby proposed as the operating budget for the town of Stratford for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2017 and ending June 30th, 2018. And that the sum of $216,199,075 is hereby appropriated for the current expenses, permanent improvements, and other lawful charges for each department and each division thereof of the town of Stratford for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2017 and ending June 30th, 2018. All in accordance with the provisions of the budget attached hereto and made a part hereof. Resolved, that the second reading of the above entitled ordinance be dispensed with, as copies thereof have been received by all council members, and the foregoing be and is hereby approved, effective July 1st, 2017.
Second.
There's a motion made and a second.
Madam Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Chase.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. We all are familiar with Mr. Khan's various line item cuts. I would move that we waive the reading of the 80 or so line item cuts and allow the gentleman to summarize his amendment and the changes from the last amendment offered.
Is there a second for that? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes 10-0, just for this the entire thing not to be read. Discussion on this? Are there any questions?
Madam Chairman, if there being no questions, I would move the question.
Okay. There's a motion to move the question. Is there a second? Second. Okay. Seconded by Ms. Manis. All in favor of moving the question, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that passes 10-0. We're going to go down the order in terms of the districts that people are at, which is the districts that people represent, which is going to be a little difficult. I believe I start with Mr. Barrington-Posner.
Yes.
Mr. Barrington-Posner voted yes. Mr. Kadim? Okay, Mr. Kadim votes yes. Mr. Hardin is not present. present. Mr. Can?
Yes.
Mr. Can votes yes. Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Young votes yes. Ms. Antezzo?
Yes.
Ms. Antezzo votes yes. Mr. Chase?
No.
Mr. Chase votes no. Mr. Llewellyn?
No.
Mr. Llewellyn votes no. And the chair votes absolutely no.
I haven't voted
Did I
yet.
get everybody?
You
Oh, I'm
missed
sorry,
me.
I'm sorry, Ms. Manis. I'm sorry.
I vote yes.
Ms. Manis votes yes, and then the chair votes absolutely no. So this budget, which has a Board of Education funding level of 1.04%, passes.
It's the amendment, right?
The amendment to this, I'm sorry, the amendment to this budget passes. Now we will be voting on the entire budget, which is 1.04% for Board of Ed and a number of other items that are cut that
So
we don't
moved.
hear about. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm moving to vote on the budget.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor of calling? I'm sorry? There's discussion on this budget. Okay, is there any discussion to be offered?
Not a question.
Okay.
Second.
Is there a second for calling the question? Okay, all in favor of calling the question, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes 10-0. I will go again, try to go through the order and not forget you, Ms. Manis. Mr. Farrington-Posner?
Yes.
On this budget votes yes. Okay, Mr. Kadim?
Yes.
Mr. Kadim votes yes. I'm sorry. Mr. Hardin is not present. Mr. Can?
Yes.
Mr. Can votes yes. Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Young votes yes. Ms. Antezzo
Yes.
votes yes. Mr. Chase?
No.
Mr. Chase votes no. Mr. Llewellyn
No.
votes no. Ms. Manis
Yes.
votes yes, and the chair votes absolutely no. This budget passes with a vote of 6-3. Okay. If there are no, now we have to set mill rate. Is there a motion to set the mill rate?
Madam Chair, an ordinance levying the tax rate. There are two sections on here. One is for the grand list of taxable property, and the other is for motor vehicle. Point of clarification, would you like them separate or together for the attorneys? Separate. Okay, so they're under the same item number, B1 and 2. So we have to read B1 and then B2. Okay. Voting on each separately? Okay. Of the 38.99 mils on the dollar of the grand list of taxable property in the town of Stratford, Connecticut on the first day of October 2016, whereas the mayor has prepared and submitted to the town council for the annual operating budget for the town of Stratford for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2017 and ending June 30th, 2018, according to law, and whereas the town council has given consideration hereto and has conducted public hearings in connection therewith, and whereas the estimated revenues of the town of Stratford, other than by taxation for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2017 and ending June 30th, 2018 are $40,330,290, and whereas the town council has proposed an operating budget for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2017 and ending June 30th, 2018, and whereas a tax levy at the rate of 38.99 mils on the dollar of the grand list of taxable property, excluding motor vehicle property, in the town of Stratford on October 1st, 2016 is necessary to meet the appropriations, less the estimated amount of revenue from other sources as permitted by law to be raised. Whereas a tax levy at the rate of 38.99 mils on the dollar of the grand list of taxable motor vehicle, you've asked me to do these separately. Should I be reading them together, Mr. Leclerc? Then you've asked me to read the motor vehicle and property separately,
Yes, he did ask.
so I won't read this part about motor vehicle, even though it's included.
You could vote on them together if you like. I just don't want them included. Read them with the written percentage. You can have one vote.
We can have one vote on both.
You can include one line.
Oh, okay. Okay, so,
You guys have your mic open.
all right, so I will go back to B2 and read that into the record, of 38.99 mils on the dollar on the grand list of taxable motor vehicle property in the town of Stratford, Connecticut on the first day of October 2016. This has to do with that part. Whereas a tax levy at the rate of 38.99 mils on the dollar on the grand list of taxable motor vehicle property in the town of Stratford on October 1st, 2016 is necessary to meet the appropriations, less the estimated amount of revenue from other sources is permitted by law to be raised. Now therefore be it hereby ordered by the Town Council of the Town of Stratford that the tax rate of 38.99 mils on the dollar of the grand list be and is hereby levied against all taxable property, excluding motor vehicles, in the Town of Stratford on the grand list of October 1st, 2016. At a tax rate of 38.99 mils on the dollar on the motor vehicle grand list be and is hereby levied against all taxable motor vehicle property in the town of Stratford on the motor vehicle grand list of October 1st, 2016. That said, taxes shall be due and payable in 2 equal installments, 1/2 thereof on July 1st, 2017, and the second half thereof on January 1st, 2018. Provided, however, that any tax, the aggregate amount of which shall not exceed $100, shall be due and payable in one payment on July 1st, 2017. Resolved, that the second reading of the above ordinance be dispensed with and copies thereof have been received by all council members, and the foregoing be and is hereby approved effective July 1st, 2017.
Thank you. Is there a second for setting that mill rate at 38.99? Seconded by Mr. Kadim. Discussion. Before we go on, I'd like to ask the finance director if this 38.99 is an accurate figure.
Okay. Is it an accurate figure? It's the same figure we had in the current year we're with. I find some exceptions with their proposal, and if I can comment, I would appreciate it. I don't know whether it's a point of order or not, but it's a point of order, and that's fine.
That was not the question you were asked, Mr. Wahlberg. You were asked about the mill rate, not to offer your opinion on the amendment.
Yes. Scott, I was not here to offer the opinion on the amendment. What it appears to be is the mill rate we have currently. There's nothing more to comment on that.
I'm sorry.
Call the question.
Well,
The questions we solved, just like the other day when the town attorney told me that I couldn't talk after the questions called.
I'm sorry, Mr. Leclerc.
I've got a comment as to whether it's the correct mill rate or not, based on the appropriation.
He has to. This is what is done. This is what was done last year. This is what is done. The finance director needs to make sure that the mill rate is accurate.
Well, you just said that pretty much you were done. You said it's the same as last year. That was it.
Well, I find some exception here, and if I can point it out, I would
Please point it out.
I'd like to express that to the board, if I may.
Please do.
One of the things here is that we have lease payments, and it's 01-201-6742, 201-1201, again, 6742. Those are lease payments. You can't bond lease payments. That's fraud. That's fraud. Okay? The other thing is, we have actuarials who set our workers' compensation. They set it so we can take care of our obligations. To go down there and just summarily go and cut it is unconscionable. We have contract settlements. These are actual figures. These are actual payroll figures that are held in this contract settlements. Just can't arbitrarily cut them. We have the health insurance. We recommended that we can cut it down to $136,000. To come around and say, no, we can cut it more. You're holding the town at jeopardy. We have a place here, we had a yard waste pickup, we're adding $60,000. That was moved to another account. So I'm not quite sure. These elements I just want to point out. And I have no comment other than that to point it out.
Mr. Wahlberg, I just want to ask you a few things about this because you are responsible for setting the mill rate for the town, are you not?
Yes, I am.
You are. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Wasn't recognized. What was the motion? I did not recognize that.
I know because you have.
He hasn't answered the question.
You don't have a mic, does he have the mic?
I'm sorry, it was not recognized, and I'm asking.
So let's move on. We'll talk to him when you get home.
I'm sorry, the question is, so I need to ask about the balanced budget.
There we go again.
In our charter, excuse me, in our charter, we have a requirement to have a balanced budget. Is this budget balanced? When you set the mill, or is it balanced with the mill rate of 38.99?
I can only tell you is that taking all these considerations, the default is in the mill rate. Will the general fund be balanced? Yes, to the default to the taxpayers. The problem we have is that there's a lot of other areas that are intermingled here. EMS, WPCA, all these other funds are convoluting this thing here. Will the mill rate be the same if we want all the enterprise funds to be balanced? No, it won't. It will increase the mill rate.
Can I ask you about the EMS fund in particular? Because I'm seeing in the first page, I'm not leading the witness, he's not a witness, I'm asking, the question was not called, it was not recognized. In the first page, you have pension for EMS, because this is what we're basing the mill rate on. I see a deduction, for example, on account code 439436051. There's a deduction of $20,706. Right now, how much money does the mayor allocate? Did the mayor propose in that fund?
Zero.
How can you take $20,000 from zero? Was that a mathematical error? That should have been a plus, I think, because it looks like this proposal transferred all of the EMS benefits to that fund without increasing the expenditures, instead it decreased the expenditures. And by my calculations, that if they took into account all of these things, I think the mill rate would have to be 39.13 in order for there to be a balanced budget, not 38.99. But I could be wrong on that.
Well, unless I go through this, I'm not sure, how you can take a negative to a non-entry, but it is what it is. This is what's being proposed. I have no comment on that.
I'm not interested in amending.
Okay, so
Call the question.
okay. He has not answered the question. I'm sorry, I'm asking the town attorney, who are experts in the town charter.
If I may, you've passed an appropriations budget. What has to happen now is you have to set the mill rate. Normally, the way that's done is the finance director looks at the budget amendments and calculates the mill rate. I think that's what you have to do, right? That's what you're trying to do. So calling the question on a mill rate that may be incorrect is not doing anything. I think that you need to let him do his job. I think you need to let him calculate the mill rate, and then you can vote on the mill rate ordinance.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Wahlberg, you need to calculate the mill rate. How much time?
Seconded. That's it, Beth. Enough.
How much time
Can
do
we
you
act,
need to
can we
calculate
act kind
the
of
mill rate?
civilized here? You know,
I would like to meet with the authors of this proposal and sit down and figure it out. It's convoluted at this point here, and I cannot do it tonight. I'd be more than happy to sit down with the proponents and sit down and figure it out.
No, it's not illegal. It wasn't recognized. So now I will call, so now there is a motion. Is there a motion to call the question?
There was a motion to call the question, second.
Is there a motion to call the question?
Yes, and my motion.
Okay, Ms. Manis called the question. Mr. Farrington Posner seconded. All in favor of calling the question, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, that passes 10-0. All in favor of setting this mill rate at 38.99 now?
Roll call.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Farrington Posner, to set this mill rate at 38.99.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Farrington Posner votes yes. Mr. Kadim
Yes.
votes yes. Mr. Hardin? Mr. Hardin votes no. Mr. Cam?
Yes.
Mr. Cam votes yes. Mr. Young? Yes. Mr. Young votes yes. Ms. Anteza?
Yes.
Ms. Anteza votes yes. Mr. Chase? No. Mr. Chase votes no. Mr. Llewellyn?
No.
Mr. Llewellyn votes no. Ms. Manis?
Yes.
Ms. Manis votes yes, and the chair votes no. The motion passes 6-4. There's a motion to adjourn. There's a second. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.